Hello everyone and welcome to another custom figure showcase and the penultimate version of the War Doctors, because this is the last custom in this series, but then I'm also obviously going to do my usual retrospective review across the customs. So this is the final custom in this series, but the retrospective review isn't going to be posted until next Wednesday because this is also my last video before I go away for a week. I'll be going away on the Friday, which means I'm not going to be posting a video on the Friday or the Saturday, and I'll be back on the Tuesday, so the next video will be on a Wednesday. So this is the last video I'm going to do for a week. I just want to get that in there now because I know people are going to be wondering where I've been if I don't post. But yes, this is my last War Doctor custom, for now anyway, and this is the War Doctor from the comic The Whole Things Bananas, or the comic story Whole Things Bananas, which is part of the Road to the 13th Doctor mini comic, which was made as a run-up, a one-off comic to the 13th Doctor comics. And in the comic it features the sort of bookends of it. The overall arcing story is actually taking place between the 12th Doctor's regeneration and him becoming the 13th Doctor, the 12th Doctor becoming the 13th Doctor. And it seems that over the course of this sort of story, they basically imply that these stories that you read are all memories of one of each incarnation that the Doctor's having as he/she regenerates. And the War Doctor's story sees him possibly for the first time meeting Dorium Maldavar and going with him on a mission to the weapon factories of Villengard that were mentioned in Series 1 by the 9th Doctor, and destroying them to stop the Daleks gaining control of them. Which obviously presents us with a very nice story in that it's an extra kind of sort of area of plot filled in from a previously mentioned sort of adventure that the Doctor's been on, so it's nice to see that. But the War Doctor's outfit in this is a very interesting one because it is a bit of a continuity changing outfit in the story itself, because different panels show the sort of different bits of the outfit. At one point his coat's short, the next point it's long, at one minute he has his scarf tucked in, the next minute his scarf is out, at one point his boots are a brown that matches the rest of his outfit, the next time they're black or they're more a darker brown, and so it was very sort of an interesting looking outfit, but I decided that I would sort of create my own version of it, as it were, taking the elements of which I thought worked best, and so that's what I've done. So overall this is just a standard B&M War Doctor. The head I've just given a repaint, as I did with my The Doctor Is In version, just to make his hair look a bit better, so I won't bother zooming in on the head because I've already done that on that video. And then the scarf is from a Connor Primeval figure, because it's got the longer scarf which can be hung out of his waistcoat rather than tucked in, and it looks a bit nicer because it sort of stands out and makes the costume a bit more unique. The overall outfit is just painted brown, and then for his boots I decided to go with an overall dark brown rather than a black that was seen in the comics in some panels. However, it's the coat that was the most interesting part, because originally I had planned just to repaint his standard coat. However, when you read through the comics, his coat does seem to sort of change length, and I really like the look of the longer coat, so I decided that I was going to go with that. And I trawled through my spare parts bins to try and find a coat that fitted. I went through, you know, 11th Doctor's purple coat, I went through the 13th Doctor's coat, I went through the 10th Doctor's coat, and none of them really fit perfectly. The 5th and 6th Doctor's coat, none of them fit or really looked right. And then I found at the bottom of my box a spare 8th Doctor coat, so the blue version from the Children of the Revolution Toys R Us comic and release, and that is what you see here, but heavily customized, because for this I have cut off all of the original buttons both on the front and the back. I've also trimmed down the lapels on the sides of it as well. And then I have done quite a bit of sculpting on this. I've sculpted new buttons on either side, some pockets. I've sculpted on the new collar to make it stand up a bit, because he has it sort of stood up in the comic. And then as well, because the War Doctor has ball jointed shoulders rather than the standard sort of the standard pin joint, I've had to then extend the cuffs of the coat to slightly cover over the edge of his shoulders. It doesn't look perfect, but I think it's worked out fairly well. But it really has worked out. As a figure from a comic idea, with this longer coat, I think it looks absolutely brilliant, and I'm so pleased with how this has come out, because it really, really has come out better than I thought it was going to. I know I say a lot of my customs, I'm really pleased with how it come out, but this is again one of those ones that I really am, because I really didn't think it was going to come out as well as it had, especially having to do the long coat and so much work on that. And it really, really has come out looking great, and I really think the longer coat is actually a brilliant look for the War Doctor. And I really think it's a comic well worth reading. It's a comic well worth picking up, because obviously you get lots of different stories, one from each incarnation. But the War Doctor one especially, I love the illustrations on it, and I love the fact that without the continuity errors I wouldn't have had this idea. So it really is a fantastic mistake, shall we say, to have. But that brings to a close another custom figure showcase, and the last, or the penultimate, of my War Doctor series. As I said, next Wednesday, because I'm away for a week, I will be doing my retrospective look back across this series. But until then, as always, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot. Be sure to check out the description below for a link to my Patreon. I'm doing my very first figure animation, and you can get involved. There's exclusive content and rewards for those who do so, and funding my Patreon in any way gets your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.